Welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to another Spider-Man PS4 related video, and specifically talking about the Marvel side of Spider-Man PS4. So I've made a lot of videos regarding this, and I will put the main two in the description regarding those topics. But basically, it has already been confirmed that we will be getting sequels to Spider-Man PS4, and that, just like the Batman Arkham Asylum game, there was a series of those games, because we had Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight. So we are going to get the exact same thing with this Spider-Man right here. We are going to get a series of PlayStation 4 exclusive video games from Insomniac Games of this iteration of Spider-Man, and it is going to be beautiful. I will put the video in the description where I go more in depth about that, where it is titled "There Will Be Sequels to Spider-Man PS4," and then we also got some news, of course, that there would be not only just Spider-Man games in the future, like more Spider-Man PS4 games, there are going to be more Marvel games in general. Marvel games that are going to be made by AAA developers, with AAA stories, AAA gameplay, AAA graphics, all the works for Marvel characters. And that is because right now in the comic world, Marvel is winning the movie war, while DC is winning the games war. So DC is trying their best to catch up with Marvel with the movies, but Marvel, since they already have the leg up with the movies, they are now going to try and get a leg up with their video games. Because of how DC, they have the Arkham games and then Injustice. And that is their main branch of games, whereas Marvel only has certain, games of Spider-Man that are movie tie-in games, and then they have also had tons of variety of their games, but the majority of them have been movie tie-in games, like the Incredible Hulk movie tie-in game. There was even rumors of an Avengers movie tie-in game that got canceled. We've had the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, had, again, tons of Spider-Man games, Marvel vs. Capcom, Ultimate Alliance, on all those Marvel games, right? So those were all great games, but sadly the majority of them were movie tie-in games. Now don't get me wrong, I love movie tie-in games. I think they're actually really cool. It just depends on how they are executed in the process of being made. And of course, Spider-Man 2 is regarded as one of the best superhero games of all time, / best Marvel games of all time, / best Spider-Man game of all time, / best PS2 era game of all time, / best movie tie-in game of all time. And, I agree with the best movie tie-in game of all time, but it is not the best Spider-Man game of all time. At least I don't think so, in my opinion. The best Spider-Man game of all time is Web of Shadows. But I'm getting ahead of myself. And basically, if you did not know about this, this is going to blow your mind. But right there, as you can see, this article was posted on June 20th, 2016. And this is on PlayStationLifestyle.net. And that was the title right there of the future of Spider-Man console games is with Sony and Insomniac, and that is for Spider-Man, right? And we knew this already. If you have been keeping up with news, you would have known already, like I said earlier, that the Spider-Man PS4 game will start making a series. This is going to be a series of Spider-Man games that we will get. But right here, in this little interview snippet, it goes more in depth about the partnership that Sony, Marvel, and Insomniac have with each other, and I already kind of talk about that in my sequels video, so I will put that in the description so you can watch it, or just try and search for it in the video category of my channel. But the main aspect I want to talk about here is the last part of this paragraph right here, and this is a interview that someone had with the Marvel Games Vice President, Jay Ong. And you can read the entire paragraph if you want to, but I'm going to basically be talking about that last sentence right there, these last couple of sentences, starting with. So, with regard to other console partners, stay tuned. Because what they mean by that is that since Spider-Man PS4 is, of course, a Sony PS4 exclusive, and how it has already been confirmed that we are going to get more Marvel games, the only Marvel character that will be an exclusive is Spider-Man. Because of how Marvel and Sony worked out that deal, which is why we saw Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War, so Sony has the benefit of having the rights to Spider-Man fully, meaning that he can be an exclusive and not be on multi-platform, so that way Spider-Man is fully on the PlayStation forever. So if you want to play a Spider-Man game from here on out, you're going to have a PlayStation 4. Sorry, Xbox and PC fans, but that's the way it is, and that is going to be that is actually one of the greatest decisions of all time for Spider-Man. And if you wonder why, I made 2 videos regarding that, like why it's good that Spider-Man PS4 is an exclusive for PlayStation. So go check out those videos as well. And right here, the last sentence of this paragraph, and then the final paragraph right there are the kickers. There's many more interesting additional things to come, but Activision is in the past with regards to Spider-Man, because of course Activision owned the rights to Spider-Man games. That's why we had all those movie tie-in games based on all the Andrew Garfield movies and all the Sam Raimi movies. And then we got, like Ultimate Spider-Man and Web of Shadows, of course. So that is with Activision, but now Activision lost those rights, which is why Spider-Man is now a Sony property. It is one of their exclusive, just like Uncharted is and Infamous is. So it's just like that scenario right there with Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog with those characters in Sony. Now Insomniac has Spider-Man, so it's perfect. Now this final paragraph is one of the greatest paragraphs I've ever read in human history, and this is going to be dream come true for all of you guys. For those of you who do not like movie tie-in games, here it is. After explaining their quote-unquote brand new strategy to be very selective and only partner with the best game companies on Earth. Like I said earlier, they are going to give us the greatest gaming experiences of all time from AAA developers with giving us AAA games. And I also, I made video like that, like what the upcoming Marvel games that we are going to get would be, which characters they could use in the games, and who could possibly make them, and what type of a game it could be. You can go check out that video. It was Marvel Video Games Wish List and Possibilities. That was the title of it, so go and check that out. And right here, Ong, which is the Marvel Games Vice President, keep in mind, says one major change is the decision to no longer tie games to movie releases. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! So that is the holy grail of news right there, everyone. From here on out, at least from here on out, as right now as we can tell, it has been confirmed that there will be no more movie tie-in games from Marvel Studios. And what I mean by that is, we're going to get Doctor Strange, we're going to get Spider-Man Homecoming, we're going to get Avengers Infinity War, we're going to get Black Panther, all these upcoming movies from Marvel. They will not be turned into games. They will not be turned into movie tie-in games, which means the days of Spider-Man movie tie-in games are officially over. I know that might be sad for a couple of you guys, but for me, I think it's wonderful. And for those of you who, loved Spider-Man 2, don't worry, they reaffirm it right here in that quote at the top. It was difficult to succeed with that one. Oftentimes, there wasn't enough time to come out with something truly terrific. Now, of course, the Marvel Games Vice President is, of course, probably referencing the Amazing Spider-Man 2, or even the Spider-Man 3 game, the Sam Raimi game, because of how those games were kind of like put down and reviewed bad because of their poor gameplay elements or story or graphics and all that. Like, I don't think that's the case. In my opinion, because I really like both of those games, but of course the reviewers absolutely obliterate movie tie-in games. And it's not just because they want to stop movie tie-in games just because. They actually gave really good reasons, and you can read this paragraph right here, of course, but it is mainly because they want to be like how DC is with Batman. Like, we didn't get a Batman v Superman movie tie-in game. We didn't get the Dark Knight movie tie-in game. We got a Batman Begins movie tie-in game, which actually was pretty good. But, for the rest of the DC movies, we do not have any movie tie-in games because of how they want to have the fans experience the most wonderful possible gaming experiences of their favorite heroes they possibly can, and that is what Marvel is going to be doing with all of their characters. For right now, Spider-Man is a solely exclusive item for the PlayStation 4 and upcoming PlayStation consoles, of course, but for other Marvel heroes, characters that will be turned to video games like Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, for example, those will all be AAA games made by AAA studios that will no longer be tied to any movies. And same thing with Spider-Man games. The days of movie tie-in Spider-Man games are over. So thank you so much for watching, True Believers. Make sure to stay spectacular, and peace out.